Yes, people. Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome to the Best of the Rest show. We're back. It's a Tuesday. I hope everybody's all good. I hope everybody's tuning in right now. Make sure you do, guys, hit the like button when you come through. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the Mandem as well. The link is in the description for all their channels. But man like Prems is in the building, still top of the tree, still living life. What are you telling me?
Bro, exactly that, fam. You're getting used to this now. Week on week, I'm coming back, and man, still top of the tree. You know what I'm saying, bro? But now, all good in the hood, man, bro. Just getting by, man.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. It's all good. It's all good. Got a man like Carefree Lewis in the building. Not so good week for you, but other than that, how
Nah,
are you?
bro.
Man? How are you?
I'm still alive, I guess. That's a positive. Yeah, and we should win our game tomorrow, but yeah, we suck. We absolutely suck. But in spite of that, we're still beating these lot on Sunday, but we moved.
Yeah,
Up the chance.
well, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Patrick, what are you telling me, man? Everything all good? Just about got the winner, but listen, 3-point
Listen. There's two ways to look at it. You can either say that it was embarrassing to be 2-0 down, or you can look at it the way I'm looking at, showing resilience, fight, determination, grit, to be 2-0 down away from home, regardless in the Premier League, and come back and win 3-2. Yeah, man, I'm looking at it that way. And I see the comment about what all Marseille today. No, we ain't. Come on, Tottenham. Let's represent. Let's go.
I let Marseille.
Marseille, mate, all the way. You get me. The only time man's back in Alexis. You get me, bro. After he done the dash.
It's crazy, man. That's probably the worst transfer ever, man. Most disappointing transfer is Alexis Sanchez at United.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, the way he lost his juice.
Like 3 of the top 5.
Yeah, easily of all time, man. But listen, I want to talk about another player who might be that kind of similar in terms of moving over to another club, Raheem Sterling. You know what I want to discuss is that actually, I respect Raheem Sterling's career. I respect what he's done for City. A lot of people can say, he was part of the jigsaw at Man City, but he's still got to respect his output. 100 plus Premier League goals, so many assists. You know what I mean? Like, he's done his thing, man. Nobody can argue that, but right now, Lewis, is he in the right position? What's going on with Raheem Sterling? Why is he not producing for Chelsea at the minute?
I think it's two different things for me. The first is like we're relying on Sterling a lot, whereas at City he was mainly focused on making runs in behind, finding himself in the right position, and just mainly focusing on positioning, finishing, and that sort of remark. Even though he could create, he wasn't really looked at as a general creator, as like one of his main roles in that squad. Whereas at Chelsea, because our attack is so poor and our creativity is so poor, we rely on him heavily for that, and we're asking to play a lot deeper as a result. And that's not the way you get the best out of Sterling. Sterling isn't the main man. He's not the guy that you build a team around. He's a guy that you have better players around, and Sterling helps to supplement them, and that's how you get the best out of him. So I think we're utilizing him wrong in that regard, but he's also come to Chelsea because he wants to be the main man. He wants to have that respect. He's come in as our highest earner. So with that in mind, there is also an added responsibility for him as well. He can't be having these runs of form. And we can't sugarcoat it. Like, since Graham Potter's come in, he's been poor. His best game was against Salzburg, and Salzburg play under social distancing conditions, so I don't take that game seriously for anything. He's been poor the majority of the time Potter's been here. But it's not a question on the player's ability. We're in a rebuild, sadly, trust the process, all that crap. Sterling will be one of the players that stays here, and I think will look a lot better as time goes on. But right now, he is in terrible form. I can't defend it.
He's said something today, and he's come out and said, my position is a winger, that's for sure, but the manager has his way of playing, and he's not had a full preseason with us. You've come to a new team. There's different things going to be asked of you. It's completely different shape. Is it just as simple as that, Patrick? How are you breaking down what's gone on? Because Sterling's output for Man City, like people, regardless of people saying Pep Guardiola owned him, he was perfect in that system. Is it as simple as that, or has it just not worked out for Chelsea and what they paid for? What they got, the hype. Raheem Sterling coming to Chelsea was a big hype in the summer.
the thing is, it's difficult. It's hard to judge players when there's so much changes around them. Obviously, these guys signed for Tommy Tuchel. They expected to be a certain way. That didn't work out. It was quite a shock. I know some Chelsea fans wanted him gone. There was a lot of people that were 50-50 with him, but most of us thought he would definitely get the season. He was backed massively in the summer, and we were thinking, oh, this Chelsea team, even though Chelsea had a bit of a wobble last year, they had a lot going on behind the scenes. They still finished in the top 4, and you thought they was going to push on. And then obviously they chop the manager. They bring in Graham Potter, who's a good manager, but completely different manager, completely different style of play, completely different tactics. And Sterling seems to be one of these guys that's kind of got caught in the crossfire, and he doesn't really. I mean, Tuchel was playing with him as a wing back. It's really weird. So it's like attacking wing backs / wingers, but he's not a fullback. And I don't know, man. It's a bit weird. So we're not seeing the best of Raheem Sterling. You're not going to get the best out of him when he's having to go both ways, as in defend and attack. He's playing with a lot of players that he doesn't really know yet. You can see there's no cohesion, and there's not, that chemistry is not there. They don't know, for example, with Son and Kane, when one runs, the other knows to drop, and when one drops, the other knows that they've got that telegraph kind of. They don't have that, and you even see that with like Eriksen and Rashford is starting to form. You get different players. Arsenal got that with like Saka and Jesus, but there's no one at Chelsea where you can see that they know what's going on. They don't know each other's games yet, and Sterling's kind of just been caught in that. And Sterling isn't a guy that's gonna pick the ball up and beat 1 or 2 mans and whipping across, or pick the ball up, run at players and then top bins it. He needs people to feed him. He's almost that guy. Kevin De Bruyne will whip one in early. Sterling's on the back post and he taps it in. Do you know what I mean? A lot of Sterling's goals came in that 6-yard box area. Chelsea don't have anyone that can really create and do that. I know Mason Mount can do it in patches, but he's not that guy, is he, really, for that type of thing? So I just think the style he's kind of been caught in different like type of style of play, different setup. And to be fair, if a lot of players knew that Tuchel would have got sacked so early, I don't know if they would have still came. Do you know what I mean? Because even though Potter is a decent manager, he's not proven at this level. And Chelsea ain't gonna. I know they said, he's got 5 years. We're gonna give him time. Fuck me, if they keep losing the way they do, they ain't gonna get time. Not at Chelsea, no way. Not with the amount of players.
Potter will get given time regardless of how bad
so?
he gets. That's the one. Yeah, definitely. They wouldn't have signed
what
him
if you lot at eighth? If you lot at eighth with about 2 months to go, a month to go, and top 4's looking shaky, you think you're still gonna get time?
Yeah,
squad.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You don't sack Tuchel just to sack his replacement in under a year. That would be so suicidal in terms of the way the fan base would view the owners. They just think they're clueless. Why do you sack potentially our best ever manager since Mourinho just to sack the replacement you wanted to bring in 8 months? Like they have to give him time. He has to get at least 2-3 years to build the squad in his image, and then you judge him. The same way with Thomas Tuchel for me.
Yeah, that's that for me. In terms of Potter, like I said, I think right now he's just got a lot of styles to deal with, and I feel like for me, I don't know if he's overwhelmed by the amount of players he's got, because at Brighton he didn't have so many quality players. Right now, he's a bit overwhelmed. He's a bit kind of like, well, it's almost like playing like career mode a bit now. He's trying to fit everyone in. I just started even being bantering. He's trying to fit everyone in.
I get it.
And it's like, you don't do that. You stick to your principles, stick to your laurels, and then do it like that, rather than kind of like, sticking. Because I see, Havertz, this, that, and then you got Sterling playing behind all these lot, when he should be probably the one further forward as well to kind of link up with them. So it's for them. Let me just get the super chats in. Is Barca really trying to take Arteta and Edu? I don't know. I don't know if you hear anything. Did you hear anything?
Yeah, I've heard some noise around it, but it's all bullshit, really, bro. They ain't going anywhere anytime fast. I'm telling you now, especially when we're sitting at the top of the table. It just doesn't make no sense.
Yeah,
let's go, Barca.
Maybe
Come
next
on.
week. Maybe next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
And just before we start as well, properly, I just want to say big up Patrick for showing your face on the show. You know what I mean? You managed to just survive from jumping off the bridge, and now he's here. You get me? And big up Lewis, you get me? Because you man fell off the bridge. You get me? And you're
I'm
you
still
get me?
here,
So big
bro.
up for yourself, but
stop that narrative. Stop that narrative. Let's not do this. As you can see, I'm streaming from the office to make sure I'm here on time, and I'm, what I mean, it's nothing.
That office is looking quiet, fam. That looks like last week it could have been the same situation. You know what I mean?
Aye, big up Owinski in the chat. Raheem Sterling's a quality player. He's had time to adjust and conform. He has had time to adjust and conform to the three different systems in a span of 3 months. Pep, Tuchel, and now Potter. You know, Premsy, what's your? Because do you rate Sterling, by the way? Do you think he's a good player? Do you think he's again been found out by, you know what I mean, the now that he has to play in a more fluid system rather than it was tailor-made for him at Man City? What's your thoughts on Raheem Sterling at the minute and his current form?
Do you know what? Yeah, I do rate Sterling. Obviously, I'm touching a bit on what all of you have said as well, because you've all made some valid points as well. Yeah, I think it's very easy for a player to settle and be playing at the best in a team like Man City, because they're very well organised, they're well drilled, they've been going for years, and the system is under Pep's been active. You get me? Where going to Chelsea, I believe that a lot of these players wouldn't have gone to Chelsea if they knew Tuchel was going to get sacked. Now they've got Potter there, they're going to have to wait and see what happens, because whether these players respect him or not, that's another situation. Like you said, he hasn't really done much. Yeah, he has got Brighton to a better level than most teams in the Premier League playing fancy football or whatnot, but he's not done anything significant yet. Now he's at a big club. He's going to have to override a lot of these challenges. For me, play him as a wing back, wrong decision. I think Aubameyang, you know, my man's doing up bench and that. Why not give Sterling an opportunity up front? We've seen at time and time again at City that when they didn't have a striker or they were playing Jesus out on the wing, Sterling had opportunities through the middle and he was very effective. But it's still his first season there. Maybe the lifestyle change from moving to Manchester to London, the influences around him and stuff like that might have an impact. We don't know because we don't see it. But it is a big difference. You know what I mean? You're not seeing the same Sterling that you were seeing at Manchester City. And it's just one of them, bro. You got to give Potter some time in it, because realistically, just like Lewis touched on, you can't just come in, deal with all these egos, deal with all these big players that he's never had to do before and think he's going to just hit the ground running. You get me? Because over the last few weeks, they have got some decent results. You get me? They have got some decent results. I think they've done like 5 clean sheets on the bounce or something like that, Lewis, if I'm right.
Yeah, but that was fake. I'll be real. It should have been 3.
But it is what it is, though, innit? You get me? He's still done it. You get me? He's still come in and he's steadied the ship a little bit at the sense, because Chelsea were in a little bit of a mess. I think maybe they have to go out in January and rectify the striking issue. I think Aubameyang washed up, dead food. You get me? Sitting on the bench and that. See you later. If I was a Chelsea fan, I don't even know why these man have got him there. But Raheem Sterling, man, you just got to take time with him. You just got to take time with him, man. There's a good quality player in there. Every time he turns up for England, he steps up on the world stage. You just got to give him some time, bro. That's just my honest opinion. But I think all he has touched on it pretty much, what I was going to say anyway.
100%. And I think, obviously, at the minute, Chelsea, you know what? I asked Matisse, and I don't know if I got an answer in terms of like this season, the feeling. Yes, it's a process here, but is there a feeling that, you know, Chelsea, because I didn't put Chelsea in my top 4, if I'm being honest with you. I just thought there'd be a lot going on at Chelsea, Lewis, in terms of manager sorting things out. Like, if you didn't make top 4, would it be as damaging as you think? Because you've still got a war chest with Todd Bowley. He is still going to spend money. I get you want to finish top 4 and you want to finish high as you can, but what's the ambition for Chelsea this season? How are you kind of like thinking it's going to go?
Well, I think the targets remain the same. It was always going to be just remain in the top 3, or at least try and maintain 3rd place, even though I don't think that's going to happen. I say we still go for the same targets. Try and win one of the domestic trophies, go as far as you can, the Champions League, and finish in the top 4. But in terms of us looking like we're going to finish in the top 4, yeah, I don't know about that. I really don't know. And I think the next 2 weeks as well, even though it is the 2 weeks before the World Cup, there's going to be a big break off. It's going to say a lot, because we're already a couple of points off top 4 already. We've got Arsenal coming up next week. We've got Newcastle the week after that. If we don't get results in those 2 games, we're even further off the pace. And then we've got Man City in like our 3rd game back from the World Cup, I think straight after New Year's, and Liverpool away 2 weeks after that. So it's not going to get any easier for us. Top 4, like, we're not guaranteed that at all. I don't think anyone thinks that, but like, I don't even think Chelsea look like favourites right now. I won't say too much because it could change in a week or two's time. All depends on the results, but Chelsea don't look confident. They haven't looked convincing to me all season. There's no reason for anyone to be bigging their chests up saying we're going to make top 4 because why? Don't look like a top 4 team.
You know the thing with Chelsea, yeah? I think they've got all the talent. Bro, their squad is stacked with talent, Premsy. You know, when you actually deep their squad, you know, you got Fofana, Koulibaly, Thiago. You're looking at midfield, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a bit of a...
Yeah, it's a bit crap.
Yeah, it's a bit crap. Attack, though, whether you think of what Havertz is, you know what it is, yeah? They've got names, but they haven't got the gem. They haven't got the chemistry. They haven't got match winners. I don't think they've got match winners in their team. I'll be honest with you. Like,
but that's something Potter's got to come in and install, because the one thing we have seen with him is he knows how to play a good system. And that system that he brought to Brighton played very good football. You get me? So with Chelsea, obviously, they are going through a total change of what ownership, basically backroom staff, new manager, new players coming in that thought they were playing for another manager, but now they're playing for this guy. It's going to take a bit of time for him to figure these guys out, figure out who really wants it, who's got the passion, who wants to play for the club. And then I think you'll start seeing a better Chelsea probably next year. But nothing says after the World Cup, during that break or whatnot, the players that he's got, he can't really coach them in the right way that he needs to. And you might see a different Chelsea after the World Cup as well. So you just got to take a little bit of time, I think. But you're right, they got talent all around the team. There's a lot of players inside the Chelsea team that a lot of teams in the Premier League would take. You get me? And to be fair, I'm not going to lie, I'm just loving it. You get me? I'm at the moment, you get me? I don't like Chelsea either, you get me? Because they've been, over the recent years, they've always ended up doing us. It's only over the last couple of years we've ended up going Stamford Bridge and getting the result. But prior to that, bro, we were all getting turned over left, right and centre. So hopefully they could just stay where they are. You get me?
Basics on Sunday, isn't it?
What was turning you over?
Nah. Back to basics before recent years, man.
You get me? Because
you know your best ever number 14 in Arsenal history coming back to haunt you guys.
You know what? I think it's gonna be one of the maddest games in terms of Aubameyang, Arsenal.
Bro, Aubameyang's probably gonna be on the bench, fam.
Nah, Aubameyang's starting, bruv.
Probably going to be on the bench, fam. You get me?
Game of his life. I'll go into any game negative.
We'll see what he does. You get me? We'll see what that sausage does. You get me?
We'll see, bro. 2-0 other dagger in front of the shed end. Little arms up to the Arsenal fans, and he goes dunking on Arteta's head. I'm here for it.
Bro, the only thing he's going to end up, only thing he's going to do, is warm that bench up, bro. Best believe that, you get me? He'll come on for a little 10, 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Dead. Bro, I want him to start. You get me? I want Saliba or Gabriel to crunch him. You get me? Crunch him out of the game.
Moment from Gabriel, and that's it.
Bro, hate on us. Give me all the hate because we're at the top of the tree right about now, fam.
Yeah, that's but if you lose on Sunday, you might not be top of the tree.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. You get me, fam? But use man, just got yourself touched up, by the guys that you took your manager off. You get me? Now, all I know, is that Chelsea team, if they want to come and chat to us, bro, they got to pull their socks up, mate, because I'm telling you now.
And they better.
They ain't that good. Just like you just been sitting there and saying it, bro. You just been sitting there for about 2 minutes telling us how shit your team is, bro. You get me, bro? That's exactly what it is.
And I'm going to always be positive when you lot come to the bridge. Any other game, I might use some logic into it.
In the last few years, have you been positive?
I'm not using logic for this game. I don't give a shit for smashing you lot.
Last few years, have you been positive?
Last year they turned you over.
Stays the same. When it's Arsenal, I don't care. We could be 20th. I'm still backing us for that game. I refuse to go into that game.
You know what? You should back your team, bro. You have to back your team, man, because that's what I love to see. You get me, people backing their team. But, bro, it's just hopefully when you're here on Tuesday next week, it's going to be a sad situation. I'm telling you now for a fact. You get me? Get your bally on. That's all I'm telling you.
Bally on. Gonna have a coat on, everything, bro. I might even turn up, but we move.
You know,
it's going to be a good game, though. Be a good game, I tell you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely. Patrick, what do you make of Chelsea at the minute? Obviously, London rivals and whatnot. Are you scared by them now? You know, Chelsea been dominating, in terms of Europe and whatnot, in terms of London, in terms of But right now, how are you feeling about Chelsea and their predicament right now, the form that they're in, top 4 as well? Are you worried about them looking down below? Are you worried?
To be fair, I mean, I can't write anyone off. Like United, I haven't written you guys off as you know in previous weeks. Chelsea, I can't write them off. Even Newcastle is still there or thereabouts. There's some teams that there's pretty much 7 good teams, and there's only 4 spaces. So someone's gonna have to miss out. I didn't have Chelsea in my top 4 before a ball was kicked. Like Premsy, I just knew there was too much going on. I wasn't sure about the signings. Obviously, they had that whole Abramovich takeover thing clouding over them, and I still stand by my top 4, which was Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, and City. Liverpool obviously have dropped out so far. They probably might be replaced by United. I'd put United above Newcastle and Chelsea right now. United just look a bit more solid. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, of course, I'm still going to be worried about Chelsea because, like you guys have touched on, they've got such a good squad. There's quality all over the pitch. The midfield is still a bit, but Jorginho and Kovacic on a day can go toe to toe with anyone. And attacking wise, yes, players aren't in that great a form at the moment, but they still got the quality there. Defensively, they've got quality. Keepers are okay, but they're good enough. So if you look at the Chelsea team as a whole, they're still good, man. And if they go on a run, all you have to do is string together a couple of wins like they did before the Brighton game, and you're right back in it. So it'd be foolish to write them off, but I wouldn't say I'm scared of them. Nah, I'm not scared of any team, really. The only team I'm worried about right now is Arsenal, because they just seem to keep going. City, we expect to be there. Arsenal, I expected them to be in the top 4. I didn't expect them to be this good. So that's a concern for me. But other than that, everything else will just pan out how it's meant to pan out. So in a nutshell, I'm not worried about them, but I do respect them. I'm not going to write them off.
Absolutely. Big up to everybody who's locked in. 400 people in the chat. Make sure you guys are liking the video, man. It's costs you nothing to like the video, so make sure you guys are liking the video. Big up to Dominic, man. Yeah, man, I was in IKEA, man. You should have came over, man. But yeah, man, all love, bro. Hope you're well, Dominic.
I see Grizz in the comments as well.
Big up.
So,
big up Grizz Khan in the comments as well. Love to Grizz, man. But you know what? This top 4, listen, Grizz he's in this top 4 race. That's why he's in this.
Add into the stream, yo.
Best of the rest, yo. That's why, you know why I made this show? Because I thought we were best of the rest, but
yeah, listen, you thought Liverpool was set, innit? You thought Liverpool was set. I thought Liverpool was set.
Second, I thought, but they're best of the rest now. And bro, this top 4 race, yo, I can't lie. Liverpool not being in this top 4 race, yeah, is massive, yo. Because they're the only team, yeah, that I felt like before this season could conjure up a 10 game winning streak, 15, but they can't even get 2 or 3 games, and then they fumble again. Like, this is for me, if you're looking over their shoulders, especially you Lewis, the fact that Liverpool are how many points are they away from me?
Liverpool, let me have a quick look.
Yeah, because I'm looking at, let me get the Premier League table up right now, because I'm looking at it right now and I'm thinking,
Liverpool are 5 points behind us, raw.
Yeah, that's
we're shit. What the fuck?
That's how I told you how bad Liverpool have been. They're 5 points behind you lot, and you lot haven't been great as well. You know what I mean? So you lot haven't won in the last 3 games, and Liverpool still haven't conjured you up. But it's Newcastle as well that's in there. You know what I mean? And they're not going away. Newcastle are serious. Do you reckon they can? Be real, yeah. Can Newcastle carry on? Because I feel like if they strengthen in January
100%.
and they actually buy a couple of decent players, bro, you have to put them in this top 4 race. I know a lot of people say no, but you have. If they spend, they've got the money to spend. People, they've got it.
They can be in the discussion, definitely, but with Newcastle, the only thing is, do they have the experience to see it out? And I'm not too sure yet. I think for Newcastle, like, their target isn't top 4 right now. It's just top 7. They want to solidify themselves in Europe. And then next season, they'd make that sort of push up. But they're definitely capable of it. Big up as well, my guy. But they're definitely capable of being in that top 4 race. I don't know if they will be there by the end of the season, but I do think they'll be about top 7 for sure.
I think Newcastle, they got a very good chance, because sometimes you don't need that experience. Sometimes momentum can take you through as well. You know what I mean? Sometimes that feel-good factor around the place can push you through. Now, like you said, Saeed, these men have got bags of money. And with the financial fair play, they haven't spent really much for nothing for 14 years. So they can go out and spend. Now, the World Cup's going to be done. After that, players are going to be looking at the Premier League and seeing Newcastle potentially in 4th and 5th and thinking, you know what? There's a good project going on there. I'm going to get good money. I can go there and potentially have Champions League football. So the recruitment side of things, even though they haven't got a world-renowned manager, they have got some pulling power. So it's going to be very exciting to see what happens. Obviously, Isaac as well is being injured. He's got to come back into the fold as well. And, bro, people should be nervous of Newcastle. Everybody around the top four should be nervous of Newcastle because these guys are just grinding out results comfortably as well, bro. And the way they're playing football as well, Eddie Howe's got them on job. He's got them on job.
They got one game a week too, don't they?
One game a week. The
that
thing
could
is,
be invaluable by the second half of the season.
Leicester
they
folded.
could actually be like that.
Yeah, Leicester folded because they didn't spend the money in January. These guys have that luxury. And this is why I'm like, I'm not saying they're dead on to finish fourth, but they could be that team that if they wanted to take it seriously, go and spend the money they want. And then people can say, right, if you come in January now, you've got a chance to make a top four. You could be playing Champions League football in 6 months. So if the owner really, really wants to do a madness and spends money in January, and then they cement that top four, bro, you have to go look over your shoulder and think, right, Newcastle, they're not sitting around. It just depends on how ambitious they are. If they kind of say, well, we're looking at maybe 7th, 6th, if we can get a top 6 finish, then go from there, then they might be just coasting. But you just never know, man. Honestly, you just never know what they're gonna do. And this is the scary thing about it.
Since they've had the money, they've been moving smart as well. You get me? They're not making dumb decisions and just buying players for the sake of it. They've actually been buying players to fit their system, and it's paying dividends right about now, man. You got to give massive credit to Eddie Howe as well, like the way he's transformed Joe Linton into a midfielder, and bro, my man's looking quality. Miguel Almiron is getting the best out of him as well. So Newcastle, man, I won't wait on it, bro. I have a feeling that these man are going to be up and around there all season. Definitely, man. There's not that many people that are going to be taking points off Newcastle, I'll tell you now.
Absolutely. Obviously, United as well. Listen, I don't think many people gave United a chance in this top four. But Patrick, what are you thinking of United in a minute so far? Not been, I think, it's a 1 loss in the last 10. Are you surprised by United's progress in terms of, not just kind of being that banter club that we've been for the last few years in terms of inconsistency?
No, not really. I mean, I like I said to you earlier, Si, I had Man United as a dark horse for the top 4. I mean, of course, they're grinding out results like West Ham. That was a good win because West Ham are a good team on their day, and West Ham definitely turned up to try and win that game. They didn't try and sit back. They played football, but you guys put in a really good defensive, display and kept it clean. Sometimes those 1-0 games or wins, are really good for like morale and spirit and solidarity because you can go and win a game and smash a team 3 or 4-0, but sometimes you need a gritty 1-0 to show that you can defend well. Players are up for it. Like you saw how Martinez and De Gea celebrated after the final whistle was blown. Those kind of things really bring the fan base together. So you guys are definitely moving in the right direction. Ten Hag is no mug. He's like Femzi said about Eddie Howe having to make those tough decisions. Ten Hag has come in and you see the experience there. He's ready to drop Ronaldo or show Maguire, nah, you're not good enough. You're going to hold the bench for a bit. And then when the players do come back in, they're fighting because they know that the manager's no pushover. And if you don't give your all, you're not going to play. So, United are looking good. And they can take points off the big boys as well, as they've shown. So, it's so hard to call at the moment. The thing is, there's actually a lot of quality teams. Even though like people are writing off Spurs saying our style of players, this and that, we're picking up points. We're putting points on the board. And, of course, no one's really going to want to play us if we turn up because we're good enough to beat anyone as well on our day. So there's a lot of good teams, man. Newcastle as well. Everything you lot said about Newcastle, I respect, but I hated the way they played against us. It was fucking horrible to watch. They literally time wasted from minute 1. Nick Pope took about 11 minutes to take the kick-ins. Literally, they fell over every time, you blew on them. And the referee should have had more balls to actually say to them, get on with the game or I'm going to book you lot, because they time wasted so much. But other than that, Newcastle have played good football in most of their games. So it's wide open. United are looking good. Newcastle are looking good. All the other big boys that we expect to be there are there, apart from Liverpool. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight.
Did you think we'll be in the top 4, Lewis? Did you think United would be in there? Because I don't know what your predictions were. Did you think we'd finish outside the top 4? And if you did, then are you surprised by United? Are you worried about United? Because obviously you guys are battling with us for that top 4 race.
I thought United would be out of top 4, but it wasn't because I thought you guys would be crap or anything. I just thought this period under Ten Hag where you tried to understand his philosophy would take a lot longer than it is now. And he's actually managed to integrate his philosophy into the side way quicker than I expected. So if United keep up this way, there's no reason why they can't be in the top 4 race. And it's hard to predict anyway because there's so many potential contenders and everything. And the top 4 race is always tight. When it gets to the end of the season, it's inconsistent as hell. That's why we always say top floor's lava and everything, and everybody gets an opportunity because everyone drops points. So I don't know. United could definitely be in the race. I don't know whether they'd be favourites or not, only just because I'm not too sure about you guys' depth. And I also think, in spite of how well you're playing under Ten Hag, you could easily have a period of downs as well as ups because it's the first season and it can be very unpredictable like that. But you guys are playing well. There's no reason why you shouldn't be in that race. I think probably got a better chance than we do right now, so I can't even say too much. But guys, I do have to head off as well anyway. But big up everybody.
Man. Big up Lewis.
Take care.
I'll be back next week, hopefully after a W.
Good luck on the weekend.
Dream on, son. Dream on, son.
We'll see, bro. We'll see. Big up everyone. Love.
Big up everyone, man. Big up, man. Make sure you go follow his channel. Ailey tells us the Prem is the only place to be. End of story. Absolutely. Wayne says here our depth might cost us. I think it's going to be like that for everyone. Arsenal, whether you know what I mean, key players get injured. Tottenham as well.
Spurs, exactly. Trust
Spurs.
me. If the big boys get injured on any of our teams, we're fucked basically. Because the second, strings.
I don't know about years, but we've seen Saka come off and Reece Nelson come on and did the job. You know what I mean, fam?
Come on,
you rated him all that
They got man like Sancho ready to come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying, fam? We was having that debate, Sancho and Saka, bro. Come on, man.
You are shameless, man. You never rated Reece Nelson, by the way. No,
bro, I did, bro. Nah. Don't get it twisted, bro. I used to rate him, you get me? But even still, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say, I think he's the best player since sliced bread. Nothing like that, bro. Like, he was, if you follow Arsenal, you're a proper Arsenal fan, you'll know he was one of our biggest prospects coming out from our academy. He went over to Hoffenheim, had his loan there, came back, had a little stint with the Arsenal, and then went over to Feyenoord. But he's just been hampered with injury. And then players like Saka, Martinelli have come in the team that have performed to an absolute unbelievable level. That's just kind of kept him out. So he's never really had a run. But we clearly seen, bro, on Sunday, there's quality in him. You get me? And now with the fight that everyone's playing with as well in this team, everybody wants to be a part of it, bro. I'm telling you now. But let me touch on United quickly as well.
Let me quickly touch on United. Saka? While you're there, has there been an update on Saka yet?
You know what, bro? There's not been a proper update on him. I don't think it's going to be an injury that's going to keep him out for a long time. Personally, I think he'll be back for Chelsea and he'll miss the Europa League game. Hopefully that's the situation and that's the case because very influential, Saka. But Mohamed El Nene, he is coming back into the fold. So that's going to give us a little bit more squad depth because I feel like he can produce more than what a Lokonga can, especially now he's added goals to his game because last season we've seen El Nene score some screamers that we didn't know he had in his locker.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just wanted to touch on United quickly as well because I didn't really have my say on United yet.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't give you guys a hope in hell this season, bro. I thought you, man, were going to finish about 7th or 8th. You get me, bro? Because the surgery that team needed was unbelievable. And only, like I said before, only towards the back end of the window, he's managed to recoup the situation a little bit. But for me, I still think you're going to have bumps in the road, just like Lewis said. And it's not going to be plain sailing, you get me? You are going to struggle against the lower teams that you find hard to break down, that are going to be 5 at the back, you get me? And it's one of them situations you just got to be patient, bro, because look at me, bro. I'm not really a patient guy, and I've had to be patient, and it's all paying dividends right now, you get me, bro? But Ten Hag, he's come in, and you can see he's a good manager. You can clearly see that he's got an idea, he's got a style of play totally different to the likes of Ollie and Ragnick and all that, and he's not scared to make them big decisions. When you have a manager in your team and your club that are not scared to put the likes of Ronaldo on the bench, and that even if man has a hissy fit, it shows signs of a good manager. You get me? Even I heard one of his post-match presses, or he was on pitch side and that, and someone asked him, "Are you going to deal with Ronaldo?" And he said straight away, "Yeah, I'll deal with that tomorrow." You get me?
Exactly. That's what he does, man.
Got to take your hat off to him.
Yeah, he's a proper man manager. A lot of people have not kind of like, there's some ways of maybe people say Conte doesn't deal with certain personnel properly, etc., etc.
Arsenal get battered everywhere they go, bro. Have you looked at the table, fam? What are you on, bro? Sort
Listen, I don't
yourself out.
know if Patrick's going out, you know what I mean? Like,
Is that you, Patrick? Is that your burner account? Yeah, looking like your burner account. Now.
yeah.
I was
You
trying
know
to
what it
rattle
is,
you. I
though?
got nabbed. Guilty.
I think it just shows you it's a testament to Ten Hag, and we finally got a manager now who's a proper man manager. He's dealing with problems in house. Like, you know, you've got to give the guy credit. And I think that's what he's done. He's gone old school and said, you know what, you lot have been taking a piss last year. You're not doing that with me. You're not doing that with me. I'm different. I'm Dutch. I'm hard. You know what I mean? I can properly manage this team, and I'm the boss. Even to Ronaldo. Ronaldo has probably won more and done more than Ten Hag probably ever will do. But at the end of the day, that's not how it goes. The manager's in control. The manager's the boss. And, you know, we kind of go from there. Right now, I don't want to go too giddy and get too excited. But I think for me, I'll be honest with you, I don't think why not. We can't finish third this season even. I don't think Tottenham are crazily away from us. We battered them when they came over here. I think it's true though. We battered you lot. I think we could finish third. If you want my low-key opinion, I think we could get Tottenham and finish third. But don't get me wrong, I'd be happy with fourth. Like that's my main goal.
Yeah.
But I'd love to finish third as well.
He did batter us, but it's one game, innit? You got to sometimes take things out of, like, you know, I get it. You did batter us. You embarrassed us on that game. But it's the consistency where I think, like Prems has said, there's going to be ups and downs. But I'm not writing you off. You're definitely in contention. And if you keep doing what you're doing, there's no way why you can't finish in there. But, yeah, I don't know. It's still too early, like you said, to really say what's what. A lot of people have written us off and saying we're not going to get top four, which is quite, you know, interesting. So we'll see, innit? We'll see.
No, bro, it's too early to judge anything right about now. You get me? This is why do you think I'm lapping in it and loving it that we're at the top of the table? You get me? Because, bro, we've not been there for years. You get me like that? So I'm just enjoying it while it's lasting because we all know what Man City are going to do in it. Like, if you're a level-headed person, you know what these men are going to do in it. They got an absolute killer up front, and that battle between second and say fifth, sixth is going to be quite interesting because there's a lot of teams that are around there that are going to be pushing all the way, man. I just hope to God that we can recruit in January and just keep pushing City and cement that second place, or even, you never know, go on and win it, which will be dreaming. But
you got
we could do it, man. We buzzing.
Next two games, you got Chelsea
and Brighton.
Bro, I think these next two games before the World Cup, you've got to just almost go out there.
Yeah,
and be, you know.
I've been hearing this all season though from everyone in it. Who have you got next? Who's doing this? Who's doing it, bro? So was Tottenham was a proper game. So was Liverpool was a proper game. You get me? So was Palace away was a proper game because, bro, let me tell you, 10 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss in it. You get me? There's no easy game in this Premier League. There is no easy game. We just absolutely hammered Forest that just beat Liverpool in it. That have been challenging for the title for the best part of 4 years. You gotta see this in the Premier League. That's why it's the most watched and it's the best league in the world because there's no easy game, bro.
Yeah,
you get me?
No easy game. If you don't turn up, look what happened to us. Bournemouth absolutely had us on toast until we actually started playing. So yeah, man, you can't take any game for granted. So I agree with Prems. Even though you look at it, 5-0 Nottingham Forest, but if you don't play, they beat you. They beat Liverpool. So you know anything's possible in this league.
Yeah. You know what it is? Like I said to you, anything is possible, and this is why the Premier League is such an exciting league. You can't really look too far ahead. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, though. I don't think Liverpool are making top 4. I'm saying it right now. Liverpool are not making top 4. Yeah, I don't know what you guys.
It's going to be a big struggle,
bro. They can't surely build momentum and still not have problems. Like, don't get me wrong, every team has problems, but they've got massive issues in that midfield. I think Trent, you've got attacking options now. Can they click? Diaz is out till December. Listen, unless they spend in January, which we don't know with this FSG and what they're trying to do and whatnot, they've got to gradually and get better and then hope for teams to kind of peter down. But I don't know if like we're gonna be able to lose. Like Arsenal, how many games have they got to lose? You know what I mean? If you're looking at United and Tottenham now, how many points are we ahead of?
Bro, the house is burning down for Liverpool, bro. The house is burning down because the moment you start hearing fans, giving up and saying, "Bro, it's time to start again," then you know that they're in a mess. You get me? In the sense of the team's quite old. They've got a lot of injuries as well. And just players ain't looking the same way, bro. You get me? And now they've lost that fear factor. The thing about Liverpool is, and City over the last couple of years, man was shitting themselves playing them two teams. You get me?
100%. You were
Obviously, man
scared
is still
going into
shitting
those
themselves
games.
playing City, but now when you're playing Liverpool, you're thinking, right, I can go and take that scalp. You get me? We just seen Van Dijk. You get me? Just absolutely loses his streak against Leeds. You get me? That's a mad thing. You know what I'm trying to say? That's an absolute mad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But going back to your point, Arsenal are on 31 points and Liverpool are on 16 points. So that's a big gap that they got to close. Even us to Liverpool, they're 10 points behind us. So it is quite mental. It's a lot. But I'm not gonna talk too much about Liverpool until we play them on Sunday, because I don't want to be here talking and then they find form and they beat us. I'm still nervous about that game. I know we're at home, but Liverpool is still capable on the day of beating anyone, as we know. I can't lie, I'm still nervous. This game always gives me PTSD because there's been many a time when we should have beat Liverpool. We're going to great form, blah, 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 and they always turn us over. So I'm a bit apprehensive. We should beat them. I expect us to get something out of it, but I still can't sit here confidently and say, yeah, we're going to win. I am a bit nervous about that one still.
Yeah, big up to Wayne. He says, who's been your player this season so far for the club? For me, it's Lisandro Martinez by far. Premsy, who about you?
You know what? I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka, you know.
Yeah, that's fair, Prof. Yeah.
I'm sure this guy's some deluded United fan here that's in the chat that keeps trying to chat Pierre shit. Yeah, bro, you just look up at us right about now, innit, fam? You just look up at us right about now. You get me? Man's got two little wins, 3 little wins, bro. You think you're talking to, bro? You know what time it is with me, fam? It's not that time, bro. But you can put whatever peas you want on the table, fam.
Yeah.
Tell them, Saeed.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know what I'm saying? Put it on the table, man. Guys, make sure you keep on liking the video, people. Still over 400 in the chat. Make sure you keep liking the video. What about you?
I love deluded United fans, though, bro, because that's what keeps United low and down, man. I'm telling you now.
Wow.
Long may it continue.
But what about you, Patrick? What are you saying?
I'm going to go for the Viking, Viking Højbjerg, someone that's underrated, does the dirty work. You're seeing him now chip in with goals and assists. He even got an assist on Sunday. He was the one that started the fight back with that nice pass through, which created the goal scoring opportunity for Sessegnon. He's looked good in the Champions League as well. I know he's not someone that's easy on the eye, so sometimes people don't really rate what he does, but he's always given 100%. Always gets stuck in, and he's been putting in some decent attacking outputs with goals and assists. So for me, I'm going to go with him because you all know Son, you all know Kane, you all know the other guys, but someone that is like basically underappreciated. So I'll go with Højbjerg.
Yeah, 100%. In terms of most improved, yeah, Dalot's up there as well. I think it's one of them. Most of United players have just improved under Ten Hag. Like Casemiro's unbelievable now. Luke Shaw's doing the business now. So right now we can't really complain. It's just again I'm looking at Sunday and I'm not gonna lie. The only reason why I'm nervous is Unai Emery's first game as manager. You always get that manager bounce. The guy's gonna come in, and we've lost to Unai Emery. Obviously we won at home, but I think in terms of the final he beat us. Obviously it was on penalties, but you know what? Just tactically. Can he get the better out of us on a one-off game? Can he sit back and just go in their shape and then beat us off that? You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting, man, Aston Villa, Unai Emery, and what they can do. So this is why this weekend is massive for every club. We've got a tricky one at Villa. You guys obviously playing. Who are you not playing again? You got Chelsea, innit? Chelsea as well. Are you confident with Chelsea, Premsy?
I am confident. Why shouldn't I be confident right about now? You get me? Do you know what I'm trying to say? I love all the hate from all the fans because that means we're going in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're an Arsenal fan right about now, bro, you have to be confident because you've got to take game as it comes, every game as it comes. And to be fair, Chelsea are falling off a bridge in recent games. Why can't we go there and do them? You get me? Because in recent times, we've gone to the bridge and we beat them in comfortable fashion. So we've got to keep this same energy, keep this same positivity around the club and just go there and collect 3 points for me. You get me? It's going to be a difficult game. Don't get me wrong. It is going to be a difficult game because there's no easy game in the Prem, like I said. But we should be going there really as favourites and taking the 3 points.
Yeah, I think, you know what? It's going to be one of them where Chelsea, if they can rise up and Graham Potter can get that big first manager game, because I feel like they were disappointed against us. You know what I mean? They should have done better at home. So it's one of them, but it's a big test for Arsenal. in terms of what their credentials are, and they're gonna fold, and they're gonna, you know what I mean, get the second, you know what I mean, loss of the season. What are you thinking in terms of that game, Patrick, in terms of Chelsea? Do you reckon they'll turn up?
They kind of have to now. It's like it's added pressure now. To be fair, Arsenal are sitting in a really good position because they're away from home, and the onus is all on Chelsea now. The fact that Chelsea got smashed by Brighton, not that they lost the scrappy game or it was unlucky, they got absolutely battered 4-1. Now they have to go into this game. You can't have two bad defeats in a row. Arsenal are top of the league in good form. And the fans, if Arsenal get the first goal, it's going to get very toxic in Stamford Bridge. So Arsenal just need to know they go, and Arsenal always start the first 10, 15 minutes. They're electric, aren't they? They're out the gates, they're all over you. So it will be quite hostile if Chelsea don't score first. The pressure is definitely on Chelsea. Even if Arsenal lose, they're still going to be quite comfortably, second, aren't they? So I think the pressure is all on Chelsea. Chelsea have to get a result. I'm hoping for a score draw. 2 defenders, so no strikers. I don't want no striker or midfielder getting some juicy stats. 2 defenders, even hopefully an own goal or 2. So yeah, no clean sheet, 2 own goals, and then we keep it moving. Both teams drop points. That's the ideal. That's what I hope for. But if I have to be real, I'd say that Arsenal are looking like the favourites for this game, and I think Chelsea will be quite scared of them coming to there and playing. And I think if Arsenal get a goal or go 2 goals up, it's game over for Chelsea. And even though a lot of the fans are saying, "Oh, we're going to give Potter time and this and that," if Arsenal beat Chelsea comprehensively, you're going to see on Twitter how toxic it's going to be.
If you know what, that's kind of mad. If they actually lose that game, it'll be interesting to see what they actually say, like in terms of their reaction and how they're going to be. Like, you know what, it's Chelsea, bro. They have I'm not saying they got a toxic fan base here. But I think
they do. Let's be honest, they do.
They have. Yeah, let's say it. They do have a toxic fan base, bro. Them man are mad on Twitter. Like they are literally like already because you know what it is because they've had success.
Yeah,
and they've not. I'm not saying they've not had to earn it because they spent money and whatnot. But I just feel like they've always been a demanding club. They've always been an efficient club. They've sacked managers, they've hired managers. They don't really have a kind of like, they don't feel a soft spot for Graham Potter. Yes, Lewis is saying he'll give him time and whatnot, but I tell you what,
I don't believe that. Yeah.
Do you know what though? I think the new owner's trying to do something different though. I don't think he wants to go through that same process of sacking managers. You know what I mean? And rightly so with the Chelsea fans, because over the best part of 20 years, they've been probably one of the best teams in the league. You get me? So you got to give the fans a little bit of understanding, you know what I'm saying? Because once you're up there, bro, and you start falling down and you ain't winning stuff, bro, you know yourself as a United fan, Saeed, when's the last time you guys have won a trophy? Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit time ago, you know what I'm saying? With us, we get the odd FA Cup here and there, which keeps us going a little bit. It's nowhere near what we want as a football club, bro, because we've been at them heights as well. But it keeps you ticking a little bit. With Chelsea, if they don't win, if they're not competing in the league, they've got to be winning a cup to keep the fans happy, because the amount of investment that they spend, bro, like even this season, bro, they've spent a lot of money. People don't really realize the amount of money that they've spent. So they've got to go and do something. They have to do something, otherwise the fans are going to be on him, but they ain't going to sack this manager anytime soon. Believe what I'm telling you, bro. They just paid 20 mil for him as well, or something mad like that.
Yeah. I think it's just, again, it's the Chelsea fans, isn't it? How they survive the suffering, you know what I mean? Like there's certain fan bases can hold it in, you know what I mean, and whatnot, and just accept reality, but certain fan bases don't, you know what I mean? And you know what it is? I feel like it's one of them situations where, you've got to suffer for a while for it to get better. And it's Chelsea, the club, naturally, they haven't had time to suffer. They've just literally, by the time that there's been pain, right, sack that manager, is not good enough. Right, this is going right. Like, let's get rid of this player. Or, and this is what they do. So it's going to be interesting, man. And I just think for me, you know what I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. But in terms of Tottenham at a minute, in the weekend and whatnot, like, what's the aim for that game in terms of you guys? Are you looking to kind of put Liverpool to the sword? Are you kind of thinking, you know what, let's do them over now while we can?
100%. We need to go and be ruthless. We're at home. We need to start playing with intent. I don't want to see us only start to play when we're 1 or 2-0 down. It's like when it's like at the moment we've got the shackles and the handbrakes on, and we're playing apprehensive and scared football. And then when there's nothing to lose, then you see Tottenham come out against Newcastle. Second half, we came to play once we were 2 goals down, got to 2-1, and it was a bit of a stop-start game because, like I said, they time wasted. The same thing we did against Bournemouth, and then also we did that in the Champions League, and we didn't get the win in the end, unfortunately. But you can see we can play football when we want to play, but it's like we have to go a goal or 2 down to really kick into gear. I don't want to see none of that crap against Liverpool. We need to be on it from day dot, because at the end of the day, they're a wounded animal right now, and that's why I'm saying I'm not going to talk all this talk like, we're going to batter them, because on their day they still got more than enough quality to hurt us. But right now they are wounded. They're in the mud, they're in the dirt, they're in the trenches. We just need to stick the knife in and twist it. And obviously I want to see the pain, and one less team for us to worry about is good for all of us. So let them continue to be down in the dumps and we just keep going. So I want to win. Exactly I want us to batter them, if I'm being honest. I want us to really
stick that
nail in. And go. And we need a good comprehensive win. We need a good win against a big team, because we've beat some of the smaller teams and we've done okay in terms of drawing against Chelsea or West Ham, whatever. But we need a good scalp now, and I want us to do that on Sunday, man. Like, no holds barred.
You know how I'm looking at it?
Son. Yeah, go on, bro.
You know what it is? I'm looking at it like this here. I want Tottenham to batter Liverpool, and I want Arsenal to beat Chelsea, because I feel like me, because you know what it is? Right now, at the minute, I'm not gonna lie to you, Arsenal are kind of like, I think they're 8 points, I think, away from how many points are you ahead of us? I think the gap right now, I don't think my focus is in there. My focus is on keeping the one below.
Wouldn't you want a score draw though? Arsenal Chelsea, you'd probably be looking at a score draw. That's probably the more realistic result.
Yes, in that kind of way. But you know what I mean? My kind of aim right now isn't looking at Arsenal. Arsenal will falter in their own way. But I think, for me, obviously people will say...
We rarely draw, though, as well. We rarely draw, innit? Like, with Arsenal, either you're winning or you're losing, innit?
Let me know the chat, people. Yeah. Would you rather Arsenal beat Chelsea and then we create a gap between ourselves and Chelsea? Or would you rather it be a draw or Chelsea win? You're catching Arsenal.
You got to think of it with a bit of common sense, innit? Like, if you think of it logically, you'd want Arsenal to win. So then you get yourself in that top 4 and clearing from the teams that are around it.
The logic is a draw.
But you would want a draw. But how often is that really happening? You know what I mean? Like, when you watch Arsenal and Chelsea play, bro, go through the history books and see how many times you draw, bro. Never, bro.
I know.
You never draw. You get
draw. Don't get me wrong. I get it, but for now, I just want to kind of cement that kind of top 4, because that is the aim for United. Just don't get me wrong. What we do with Arsenal is we have no control. Arsenal's form will be Arsenal's form.
I can see Liverpool and Tottenham drawing, though.
I want Tottenham to beat Liverpool, because again,
I can see them drawing.
My logic then now, because I want a gap between us and Liverpool. Tottenham, okay, they're ahead of us, but like I said, you know what I mean, they will falter in their own way. So. But then again, maybe a draw against Tottenham, and it's one of them. Like, I don't know. I think Arsenal at the minute are too strong, and I think Chelsea won't be able to deal with them. The way that Arsenal are playing football for me right now, it's dynamic, it's fluid, it's they have chemistry. Chelsea have no chemistry at all. They're still learning as to what they're doing, and that's why I just don't think Chelsea have a chance. I actually think Arsenal will go there and win. You know what I mean? Who would have thought that, man? You know what I mean? Now we can say with chess, Arsenal going there and winning. To be fair, you've got a good record there anyway. But the fact that Jesus, like I said, isn't scoring goals, but is coming there, is helping out.
Got 2 assists. You get me? He's had like 11 goal contributions in the last 10 games or something. So people just like to jump on Arsenal because there's nothing to really complain about right now. You get me? That's what I'm saying. No Arsenal fan, no fan in the Premier League expected Arsenal to be where we are right now this season. This is why I'm loving it, bro, because it's just my expectations were here, and at the moment we're exceeding my expectations. So I'm trying to just enjoy the moment, fam. And why not? Why not? You get me?
Were Arsenal that good, or was Nottingham Forest that bad? Be honest, like, you know what I mean, like, in your own opinion.
Do you know what? Yeah, first half, I'll be honest with you. First half, we weren't that great. We didn't take our opportunities the way we should have took our opportunities. Partey, Odegaard, for me, they needed to step up. Partey was making a lot of passes that were wayward. But that second half, it looked like Arteta must have took them into the changing room and told him, listen, it's time to start being clinical. Got to start finishing your dinner. And to be fair, he came out second half. Reece Nelson with his intensity as well, wanting to take his opportunity with both hands, I think also helped us as well. And we just did a demolition job on these man in the second half. But then again, like I said, these guys went and beat Liverpool last week as well, so they can take points off the top teams. And I was just buzzing to see Jesse Lingard walking off. You get me, not dancing on the Emirates pitch, you know what I'm saying? So it was all good, man. It was all good.
Was there a big cheer? Was there a big cheer when he came up?
Yeah. But I don't think United haven't done anything special at the Emirates in recent years, have they?
The last time we won was probably, I think, 3-1 in the FA Cup or something like that.
I won back in the league, though, innit? You haven't won.
League, we're not done. Emirates. But then again, you haven't beat us since, I think, once in the last 17 years. So it's one of them. It's both like teams haven't really done anything at each other's grounds. You know what I mean? Because it's one of them. Like, you know, obviously we've got Europa League this weekend. Obviously, we try and get through that, but it's tough fixtures, man. I just can't believe the amount of fixtures that we're going to be playing, man. The next few days now. We've got Carabao Cup in between games now. It's crazy, man. And this is why it's about managing the players, managing the team, who can manage their squad better. I think Arteta so far has managed his squad very, very good. That's one thing I criticised last season with Arteta, is that his management of his team was poor. Like he just playing players injured, then bringing them back,
learning on the job, ain't he?
Yeah, well, there you go, learning on the job. So it's for me, like I said, it's going to be one of them where, you know, it's a big thing. Carl B saying Kane 11 goal contribution 13 games, Jesus 10 goal contributions in 12 games, nothing in it. Wow. But then again, obviously he's got more goals in it, Harry Kane.
It's a bit. Yeah, this is how you can manipulate stats. But yeah, you can manipulate stats how you want them to. But I'm not taking anything away from Jesus. He's been good. It's his first season there. He's definitely come in and contributed and impacted the team in a positive way. Like when you're looking at Sterling, there's lots of questions. What's going on with Sterling? Was it a good move there? No one's questioning Jesus because he's come in and he's doing well. But you can't really compare him to Kane because Kane's an animal when it comes to scoring goals. It's only because Haaland's gone crazy. No one's really... But Kane 11 in 12 or 13 is still mental numbers. Yeah. Considering that the Tottenham team is still in second gear. So, yeah, it's good. But, yeah, Jesus, give him credit, man. He's doing well.
You know what, man? Looking at this Haaland injury, I don't know if it's serious or not, but, bro, if they don't have Haaland for a little while to the World Cup, boy, Arsenal can take advantage of that.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, it's be a massive blow for a City without Haaland, man. Like this guy's come to this Premier League, just absolutely ripped it a new one, mate. I'm telling you, literally, just looks like child's play to him. You know what I mean? The guy's just pumping in goals left, right, and centre. Probably get an injury, come back after a month or two, and then still be the leading goal scorer. That's just what this guy's on. It's crazy, man.
17 goals is just it's unheard of at this stage of the season. If a new striker comes in and has 17 by the end of the season, you're like, you know what, that's a good return for your first season. Decent, He's got 17 and we just hit November. It's like, when you think about it, it's mental. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's absolutely mad. But listen, people, we're going to wrap it up here. Still over 400 of you in the chat. Like I said, we're always live every Tuesday. We normally film at 6 o'clock, but we're just trying did it an hour early. But so big up to everybody who's locked in. Leave a like on the video. Like I said, it's cost you nothing to like the video. It just shows a bit of appreciation, helps the algorithm massively. So then later on, we get this show moving up the algorithm because YouTube, you know what I mean? It's all messed up right now with the YouTube algorithm. So hit that like button. Big up the community, like Wayne says there. Big up to Premsy TV. Make sure you go follow him, man. Link is in the description. Premsy TV. And also follow Patrick's channel as well. The link is in the description. And also, obviously, follow Carefree Lewis as well. His channel is in the description. Big up to everybody. I'll be back tomorrow for another upload. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out.